Setting it up.
Welcome to
You don't know who started the hat thing.
Welcome. I mean, can we have a better intro than that?
Yeah, now keep your music on. It's loud.
Welcome to the virtual happy hour.
There you go.
I like John's hat. Although I
Around
think
the
Kim
world,
wins
got
the
some
award.
great hats. Got some great backdrops.
Is
some great
today
Jen,
bring your
look at
mom
that.
to work day?
Oh wow!
Because I have my mom here.
Hi, Jennifer's mom.
Y'all stay safe. Stay
That's
well.
awesome. I got to get some screenshots so we can
I like
picture it.
my mom too, but she's napping. I didn't get the memo about the hats.
All right, John, rock that hat. That's awesome.
Hang on.
All right, there we go. I'm ready. Somebody's got YouTube on.
Yeah, I did. I muted that. I was
And we've got the delay going.
I thought that was Inception.
All
All right, so now that we've got the screenshot
Nice hat,
done,
Kristen.
this is really exciting.
Wait, is that a real cat on your head?
Of course it is.
So Todd actually taught us this in one of our meetings. It's snap cam. I can do like
All right, somebody talk.
Jackie,
All
are
right.
you feeling a little yellow today?
We're all busy getting our snap
trying to get
cams queued up.
Snapchat.
Yeah,
Jackie
every-
looks like the pre-roll before a newscast goes live.
that's right. This is how we start a happy hour, the pre-roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's got to go get
Wow,
your hat.
Rich, is Rich making something?
I don't know.
He's got a couple of blenders happening.
Sorry, yeah, I am. So this is pina colada mix, and this is strawberry daiquiri mix, which will combine to make a Miami Vice.
Wow.
Here, Rich, I got some tequila for you.
My friend,
Ty Davis is working on a sweet outfit. I see
I have
that.
some tequila for you too.
Oh, there you go.
Brandon Lyon.
Yeah, look at that.
Brandon Lyon is on set with Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
It's the only hat I had, but yeah.
I dig it. I like that.
This doesn't work with a green screen.
There we go. Yeah,
I
Ty,
like
that's great with the
Jackie's.
green screen.
Yeah.
Jackie,
I thought
Totally
he
go
had a
green screen
filter.
tag.
Jackie's
Just
in
be
a
a
happy
floating
place.
face.
It just makes. Here, I'll try. Wait, that's just different.
I gotta see the green screen on Ty.
I like it just like that. I don't even think you need it.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, there you
No,
go.
Oh,
Yes,
you're
there you
the,
go.
oh, he's the bad guy in 007 Goldeneye.
I'm gonna get
I
a green.
just cover the shoulder down.
Go find a green
He
shirt. real
is.
quick.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? He actually looks kind of like very 16-bit as well.
All right, so Jenny,
Nice, Fern.
you got to come off of mute. We're on YouTube, so you got to come off of mute. So what was the highlight? So what was your highlight in field marketing? What was something exciting today?
Something exciting today was so our field marketing team is working in collaboration with each other for the first time because we're doing a lot of digital, so we can bring that across the whole country. So we're kind of partnering together a lot more than we used to. So so we usually stick in regions, but now we're all working together, and I'm feeling the love within my team. So so Jake is on the call too. So Jake and Helen, you too, I see you, and Rich is mixing cocktails, and Rachel, you're here too. So I mean, come on. Look at all of us. We're having such a great day. And,
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was a good day. And Helen, thank you for the chance for my 5 minutes of fame on the public sector webinar. That was a lot of fun, actually. We had a guy who is the chief software officer for the United States Air Force. And he presented about how they've restructured the work they're doing such that they were able to pivot in the middle of this whole coronavirus thing and go live with things. And so we got to share a little bit about what we're doing at GitLab. We shared our remote playbook, which was cool. And it was a really good webinar, but thank you, Helen, and the field marketing for helping set that up.
It was a good webinar. Thank you for doing that. I know that we've been texting you a lot, so thank you.
No, it was fun. It was a fun discussion, and got to learn something. And I even took some screenshots about Nicholas had the slide that said that he's using inside of the Air Force to teach people about what is GitOps. So I've got that, and I put that into Slack in the product channel, so the product marketing channel, because I thought we might want to use it. It was really good stuff.
Yeah, and I like that we had Department of Transportation and 18F on there as well. I mean, I thought we had a nice cross mix of all the different agencies. So, but
yeah, and 200 people too. 200 people watching that webinar. It was amazing. It was good. Oh my gosh, Cormac, what are you doing?
I just found out you can add a video, so I just recorded a video of myself there that I have on loop now.
That's
keeping yourself company.
Oh my gosh, that is priceless.
That is exceedingly uncomfortable.
And if I step away,
That's so good.
That's like dividing by zero.
Perfect.
Does not compute.
You look
I should
so
have done that
focused
with the.
if you
I should
step
have done
away.
that with the background of Ashish's office.
Oh
from
no,
last week.
John did it too. This is so weird.
Well, I mean, but the beauty of this background, this is my old office, was people would think I'm still at the desk.
Yeah.
Listening intently.
And now you can do that with video.
Yeah, the video's even better.
Cormac, it's only as if you have a mini-me. It's almost like.
All right, who else has got a story to tell about today?
I got a very small story. So I don't have any mixers except for LaCroix. So this is a LaCroix and vodka right here. And it's lime LaCroix, so it's good.
That sounds
What's wrong
like
with
great
that?
college.
I don't see too many drinks.
Go.
We should do a virtual cheers.
Yeah, you know, for some of us, it's not exactly the end of the day yet. So.
Exactly.
Not that should necessarily matter, but you know,
True.
Lime
coffee
and
still
watermelon.
counts, right?
Cheers. Oh, well, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, the GitLab beer, good. Or GitLab's the bottle.
Anybody taking a screenshot? We need to. Somebody needs to.
I did. I snapped some shots.
Cool.
We could do
I'm
another
actually
one, but not
updating
until
the-
Sari comes on camera.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Or dude.
And Jackie, I know that you're often feeling like you're underwater. Now you've got the video to support it.
I can see the ocean from right here, but I want to be in it now. Need to go back to the beach when they open up.
Becky, are they giving tickets
Christine,
at that beach?
Yes, they are giving tickets at the beaches near me. So I'll run to them for a workout, and like there are cops positioned all next to it, and everything's sectioned off. But
how do the tickets work?
They'll just write up a ticket if you try to step foot on the beach.
Oh, I thought they were tickets for entrance, like they were letting
Oh,
5
no.
people an hour in or something.
Oh,
Okay.
No, they're just not letting anybody on the beach, which I get because before they did that, there were people, going as groups to quarantine together, but you can never tell if someone's actually like sticking to it. So
Where are you at?
Correct. They are entrance tickets. If you enter, you get a ticket.
yeah, you don't want it, but you go. Yeah, I'm in San
Not
Diego
the
right
good
now.
type.
So here, what they've done is they've blocked off the parking at the beaches. So anywhere you want to park at the beach near here in Central Florida, you can't go into the parking lot. So everybody parks in the Walmart across the street. And so the parking lots across the street are all full of people. But yeah.
I'm gonna see how this turns out. I don't know the social media
Chris-
rules, but I posted on LinkedIn that your live stream can watch it.
Oh yeah, what's the link to it, Ashish? I was going to tweet about it.
I sent it on the marketing channel and I selected to you when you asked.
Okay, thanks.
And I just posted it on the chat.
Christine, is that either a real mask or Snap Cam has gotten really, really sophisticated?
No, mine isn't working, so I had to improvise. It's actually a
That's
tattoo.
Suri, you haven't
very
heard of
nice.
seen from you in a really long while. Like, what's going on with you? You've been awfully quiet.
I have been very quiet. I am reading. I just ordered some puzzles. I'm very excited. It took forever to find a puzzle, but I got two. I'm gonna go pick them up from Barnes and Noble today.
So puzzles are the next thing that are out of stock after hair clippers is what I was reading. A lot of people are ordering puzzles now.
Yeah, I have a ton if anyone needs me to send them one.
Get out of stock for a couple of weeks, or it's like, yes, you'll get this puzzle June 1st.
Exactly.
And then they've run out of new ones. So people are like frantically like making new puzzles, but they're not launching till like later, obviously.
Coloring books are sold out. Too.
There's an online jigsaw puzzle
at a grocery store.
There's an online jigsaw puzzle game called Christanix that is kind of addicting, but I do it on my phone, especially when I'm waiting to board a plane or something. But you can do, you can set it up to do a variety of number of pieces. It's kind of fun.
If you want to do something really nice for your friends, you can have they're still doing it too. You can take a picture and have a jigsaw puzzle made, 250, 500 pieces. My friend has a solid gray cat, so I took a picture of his cat and then had the puzzle made, which is the meanest thing that you could possibly do, especially making it 500 pieces because it's just one uniform color. It's amazing.
I did my puzzle situation. This could be something somebody could participate in, but three of my friends, we all ordered the same puzzle. So first we bet on who was going to get theirs first. Then we allowed only 30 minutes of puzzle time a day, which we did on like a joint FaceTime. And it was a race to see who could complete it first. So it took us like 2.5 weeks. It was like a 700 plus piece puzzle. And then there was different situations for first, second, third, and last place person ended up having to pay the bar tab for once next time we're able to go to a bar again, and they're going to have to drink some Carolina Reaper tequila. So very glad to report I did not come in last and actually just completed it yesterday as the first one. So we're very excited, but now sad that we don't have daily puzzle calls for, interaction. But you can use that for a lot of different things, and it's a fun thing to replicate where you only can work on something a certain amount of time and you're joint working on it with other people.
That's pretty cool.
That's
Puzzle
really
doesn't
cool.
count if
Okay,
it-
Parker, she said Carolina Reaper. That you have to.
You have to drink.
Right?
I mean, I'd try it for sure. I don't know that I'd sign up to eat another one, but well, it depends on what the reward would be, actually. But yeah, what do you know the brand of this Carolina Reaper tequila?
Well, they make it in the back. So it's one of our favorite happy hour bar that we would go to in real life. And they make, it's a homemade version of Carolina Reaper tequila.
Right.
So
So hey, for virtual contribute, maybe we should have like stupid human contests where we all like say order Carolina Reaper peppers and then eat them at once. Like a multi-person reaction video thing.
Or we all make mini-me's like Cormac.
God, that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, if there's some other, we might want to down level it from the Reaper unless we have some people that really want to do that. Or we could work our way up, right? We could start like
an elimination
and start and tier up, and eventually once you can get to a hot tier, you can be like, all right, I'm done.
Parker, have you tried that ghost chili?
Is it like a hybrid or one of these new hybrids they've come up with?
It's not new. It's from India, and it's way up there. I just don't know if it's up there with the Reaper. But,
Yeah, well, Reaper was #1 until like last year, I believe, and then they made a hybrid.
Okay.
It's like a Reaper and the ghost pepper and maybe the Trinidad. 2 or 3 different of the top 5 had a baby, and now it's like a super hot Reaper. I haven't tried that one. I think I'm okay on that, but I don't know that I've tried the exact chili that you're talking about.
We dropped it in a bottle of vodka with some vanilla. Amazing. Just let it sit there for a while. It's the good stuff.
There's a hospital in India, I believe, India or Pakistan, I think it was India, where they were using ground up ghost pepper mash to put on the soles of the feet of people who'd been paralyzed, because if they had any nerves left at all, they would be able to feel it. And apparently it worked pretty well. Like they could feel the tingling when they couldn't feel anything else. let them know that the nerves were still there.
Cool.
Got a question, round robin question. What is the best concert you've ever been to? It can be a specific concert, or it can be the best group. But what's the best show you've ever been to?
John Coughlin wants to
Boys.
answer this.
Backstreet Boys every single time.
AC/DC.
Paul McCartney.
So I lived in Nashville, and the Roots came to town, and it was Halloween night. And so stage is black. They come out, lights come up, and they're all dressed as members of Kiss, like full face mask,
What?
the whole thing. They do their whole first song dressed up like Kiss, the boots, everything. And then like they pull off the mask, and they do the rest of their show. And then they end the show with like 30 minutes, and they just play hook after hook after hook after hook, like start in the 80s, go all the way through, like this is like 2002, 2003, go all the way through that. And like every song, like you recognize, everybody's like screaming the choruses. It was amazing. Best concert of my life.
Yeah. I have, I hate that I missed that actually.
I got to see Robert Plant at a beautiful concert venue out here in the Pacific Northwest called Edgefield. So it's an outdoor venue. And so getting to see Robert Plant and seeing him play Led Zeppelin tunes was absolutely epic. And then they had some transportation issues. So he came back out and just kind of did a little bit of a cappella stuff while they were waiting for his bus to get fired up. 3/4 of the crowd had already left, but those kind of diehards who were just hanging out got a little extra concert. It was amazing.
That's amazing.
John Mayer at the Gorge with the sun setting.
Yeah.
Beautiful place. Make sure you get there 6 hours early. It's in the middle of nowhere. They have a 2-lane road, and it holds 145 million people. Just
Oh,
beautiful.
wow.
And they canceled Sasquatch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was like the best way to go there. You camp out for 4 days, and yeah.
The Gorge is amazing. See anything at Red Rocks, also amazing. Last two, second row in Raleigh to see Coldplay in the X and Y tour. So it opened up with this giant clock in the background, counting down to unbelievable. And No Doubt. No Doubt live. Gwen Stefani is ageless. Unbelievable.
For me, it was either, well, I would like to say it was Slayer's final show, which was actually pretty great because I never got to see them as a teenager, but it was actually probably Leonard Cohen. I saw what turned out to be his final show in LA.
Wow.
It was astounding. Just the band he had with him, like everybody kind of knew it was his last time, and everyone wanted to play with Leonard Cohen. So any one of his band members could have headlined a tour themselves, but it was amazing. Like just everyone in there was crying. It was just awesome.
Wow, that's cool.
So I think for me, I saw Sophie Tucker recently, about 1.5 years ago, and it was a really great, if you're into electronic music, but their songs are good, but they're even better performers. And the opening act they had, I was not expecting to be really amazing, but they were called Crush Club, and I really enjoyed that. And so now I follow them, but just the combination of the two, and then the intro DJ they had, like all three were like perfectly aligned and like did a really good job that night. So that was probably my favorite concert. And the venue is a local theater that they don't show movies anymore. They just converted it to show concerts. And so it's got this nice old-fashioned interior with comfy seats that you can sit in and enjoy. So I'm really into those kind of concerts.
Oh, I'll mention one more. I was in a music video. So I saw Taking Back Sunday at this small club in New Jersey that is no longer in existence. We all got there and they were like, hey, just heads up. We're going to play this one song 3 times tonight because we're filming it. You're going to be in it. What? So I'll drop the link in chat. Pretty awesome. Thanks.
Super cool.
Taking Back Sunday is a Long Island band, so we love them over here. And I have a feeling I know what club you saw them in. Was it Starland Ballroom?
It was Maxwell's.
Oh, Maxwell's in Hoboken?
Yep. Man, that was good times.
So I've seen almost 100 Fish concerts. I would have seen my 100th this summer, but
Oh no!
who knows if that's going to happen or not. But I also went to see Prince in Philadelphia in 2004,
Nice.
and that show was really good.
I saw Nirvana in 92 or 93. So I didn't know the significance of that at the time, but it was definitely very, very cool and very scary as well. There were stretchers involved, and yeah, it was a little intimidating. Didn't want to go into the pit area.
Lived in Seattle in the early to mid 90s, and I got a call from a friend of mine saying, hey, we got to go to this First Street Cafe in Seattle. Happy Larry is playing. I was like, Happy Larry? I've never heard of Happy Larry. And he's like, no, just trust me, come on, we got to go. It's only 50 people, and the first 50 people in. Happy Larry was Pearl Jam, and so they would play different cafes under fake names, and they would do all acoustic sets, and it was the best hour and a half of my entire life.
Wow.
I'm not a huge concert person, but the coolest maybe live music experience I've had was I like opera, and I was able to see Turandot performed at the original amphitheater in the Greek Acropolis in Athens, and it's like a sunset show, and it's like a huge cast if you're not familiar with that opera. So it's like a mega cast, and you're actually sitting on the old stone, and it's like sunset, and they do it like a limited series, I guess, kind of every summer. So that was probably my coolest live music experience, but a close second always has to be Beyonce Lemonade at the Rose Bowl. It was cool.
Oh yeah, Queen Bee, for sure. That's cool. That's quite a diverse spectrum of music there too. That's neat.
I want to know what Ashish's favorite concert is.
I don't know when I went to a concert last. I remember Hootie and the Blowfish in South Carolina. Like they were.
it was Bob Schneider.
He's a country singer now.
Yeah,
Dude,
so,
Hootie and the Carolinas is, I mean, that's pretty good, man. That's where they're from.
how about you, Dan? Any concert stories?
I have to say Metallica. That was my favorite. I was way the heck in the back, but had the ponytail down to my back, down to my waist and everything. But yeah, that was definitely one I remember.
Evan, where's your hat, man?
I don't have a cool hat. I'm ill prepared for this meeting.
Dan, do you have any photos from when you had a ponytail down your back? Prove
No,
it.
Facebook.
No, never
Facebook.
took a picture back there. I don't do Facebook, but yeah, I probably do.
Dan, I have a James
see if I can dig one
Hetfield.
up.
I have a, I have to turn off my Ashish's room background, but I have a James Hetfield Funko Pop doll. If you really need it,
Nice.
you can have
thank
it. It was given to me by
I
someone.
probably have the whole set of them somewhere.
Okay, I was gonna say it might be waiting for you. I don't know.
I watched a movie with Lars from Metallica.
Wait, you watched a movie with him in it, or you sat with him and watched a movie?
No, we sat together. I was working at Dolby, and Lars came to a screening at our like in-office theater. So I don't know what it was.
Nice.
I think it was Star Wars. Like we watched the new Star Wars together.
Was it a bonding moment? Have you been hanging out ever since?
Yeah, it was. Like I just kept doing my feet on the floor like this and see if he could pick it up. Oh, that's the double bass from No Leaf Clover.
The real question is how many famous people has Darren met? Because this list keeps growing. You've been in a music video. Like how many more famous people?
That's it. That's all of them, actually.
I drove Guy Fieri in a golf cart at the Great American Food and Music Festival. And then I was next to Bobby Flay while he yelled at his assistant at that same festival. Does that count?
Yes. Definitely. That's a great segue, though. Just to see what famous people you've met. Who's met famous people, and what, and if there's a story
Hey, Val wants to answer this question.
Bobby Flay unlocked. Just gonna say.
I met Polly D at the Providence Place Mall. Just saying.
I met
in Nordstrom.
I met Elijah Wood outside of a movie theater, and he was just smoking a cigarette, and I just said hi to him. I mean, that's about the closest I've gone to a celebrity.
Yeah, I was checking a bag behind Jamie Foxx on a flight from Raleigh to LA. So we flew across the country together. Very nice gentleman.
So because of GitLab, I met two famous people in the last 1 year or so. One was, who was with me? He was in New York, Jan Straub, the guy who invented C++. He was a speaker just before me in the conference. I was like, it can't be him. But it looks like him, and it was him. It was like kind of interesting. He found it very amusing that people wanted to take pictures with him. Like there was just a whole fandom like them waiting out there, and he just found it amusing. It was pretty interesting to watch. The other one was, I don't know how many people know the name, Gary Kasparov. A lot of people actually don't know that name. But he was at one of the events in London, DevOps Enterprise Summit. No, it wasn't. It was KubeCon. I think it was KubeCon.
The chess player, right?
Yep, the chess player.
I thought you wrote a book on DevOps.
I just.
Do you love that for Hashish? The celebrities are the guy that invented C++ and, and one of the greatest chess players in the world.
I think they were as high or as big a celebrity I could get close to like in the last few years. I met others, but I was pretty impressed that I got to meet these two.
So I was interviewed by a presidential candidate.
Oh,
Ross Perot.
Oh.
Right.
Oh.
You worked for him.
Yeah,
giant.
Yeah, worked for him. Ross was a great guy. It was at Perot Systems, but it was a fun place to work. And the thing that was always amazing about him is you'd go into the office in the cafeteria, and there he is, down in the cafeteria, talking to all the people that work there, grabbing a tray, getting his own food, just eating with everyone. It was fun.
He was a
Is that
good
where you
guy.
got the hat from?
Okay,
Oh.
so speaking of presidents, I shook Bill Clinton's hand. So, there you go. He wasn't
done
quite
that.
president yet, but that was something.
No, I shook his hand when he was president. That was
Okay, even better. Fine, never mind.
no, same thing. But it was pretty interesting the effect he had on the room, the energy.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I just was mesmerized that he walked in and the room was electrified. I guess that's why he's president. Like, he can really kind of, he got the room electrified. Like, it was pretty interesting to watch.
He definitely.
Valerie, have you washed your hands since then?
Never
mind. Don't answer that.
No, but I will say, following up with what Ashish said, it's remarkable how he focused right, looked in your eyes, held your hand. Like, it was just, you had this moment that, like, for that 20 seconds, he was actually paying attention to you. It was really remarkable, I thought. Very unusual. Bill is so dreamy. Exactly, Suri. Bill is dreamy. Great hair, Suri. He has really excellent hair.
I have a public service announcement for everyone on this call. For those of you that can't figure out how to get your Snapcam or anything else working, apparently Zoom from version 4.6, anything beyond 4.6.8, which is they released new versions since March 23rd, turned off the ability to do virtual cameras. So if you have 4.6.8 still, don't upgrade. And if you can't get it working, that's why.
Thank you for that, because I did have a cat on my head like Kristen like 2 weeks ago, and now I couldn't figure it out. So
I stole it from you, Tom.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out why I couldn't do that too. Yeah.
But linear attribution is better anyway.
So I have a famous person story. My very first trip to Israel. I was that time, I just happened to be traveling business class that time. And there was this huge, you know how in, any Israel in and out, there's just so much security, right? So that time it was like extra special. And they literally opened up my laptop and checked my emails to make sure you're legit and people in Israel and whatnot. It was just crazy. So I went in and settled in my seat, and lo and behold, the person sitting in front of me turns out to be the president of Israel at the time, Shimon Peres.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so I always tell my Israeli friends, the person who accompanied me to the first trip to Israel was your president, so he accompanied me
That's
to
cool.
Israel. And he had these Secret Service guys next to me and everything. It was just, totally unreal. But, obviously the Israeli president, traveled commercial. And I ended up getting an autograph from him at the end of it on that boarding pass, so it was pretty cool. I still have it. So.
The big question is, did he recline his seat or not?
I can't recall because I was like worried about the Secret Service guy right next to me trying to put me to the ground. I literally had to ask his permission to see if I can approach the president, and he said, "Yeah, you can go do that." And then went and asked him for his autograph just before we deplaned. So that's a huge memory for me.
I was on an episode of Home Improvement.
Oh, wow. Tell us
That
more.
is really cool.
So back in 1994, they and you can watch the episode. It's the one where Tim goes to drive a tank. So I was stationed at 29 Palms, California at the time, in the public affairs office, and they put him in a tanker outfit, but he was missing a t-shirt. So I actually gave him my t-shirt, and he got in and drove the tank. And towards the end of the episode, he gets on the machine gun and he accidentally fires it. And so there's a point where it shows a bunch of Marines sitting on a tank, and we all just kind of roll off because they've got those fake snaps going off that look like rounds. And so I'm right front fender guy who rolls off the tank also. But yeah, they came out and filmed for the entire day. I apologize, I can't remember the actress's name who played his wife, but she showed up at 7 o'clock in the morning in a really nice Lexus, and she got out of the car and there was all this cigarette smoke that kind of followed her out, and she was like, "Where's my trailer?" And so it was a really great, yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, here we go.
That is the episode. And so that was filmed right near the golf course, actually, on 29 Palms, California, Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center. So that's 1st Tank Battalion, and it was amazing. And actually, if you look at if you put the pointer on the tank to the left, yep, that's me right there.
What?
Yep.
The question is, did you wash your t-shirt afterwards?
So if you guys give me about 5 minutes, I'll show you the t-shirt because he autographed it for me.
Nice.
So I didn't wash it afterwards. It was 116 degrees that day, so pretty warm. But I'll go grab it. He autographed it for me. It was a great day. It was a really great day.
I can't wait to see if it's standing up by itself.
Just eager to see the t-shirt.
It's kind of crusty.
I think the only
my background in
I-
honor of Joshua Tree.
Awesome. I have a story that kind of intersects the whole favorite concert plus famous person question, which is that I'm not that much of a concert person either, but in high school, I had this friend who was really, really, really into concerts. And so she invited me to a few. One was a Lincoln Park one. And so we had to go 8 hours early, wait in line, do all this stuff. And she was really into trying to get behind the scenes. And she was this very nice looking girl with pigtails and big glasses. And so I think that she just was able to get past security pretty easily. So we kind of both went backstage and other places, and we ended up meeting the Lincoln Park people and then other bands there, like Hello Goodbye, if anybody knows what that is. It was from the 90s.
Yep.
And then at another concert, we did something similar and met Green Day. And I don't know, just in general, she was able to kind of bypass people and get us to meet famous people because she's really good at it.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Everyone needs that type of person in their life. I mean, everyone needs someone that can just bypass everything. It's great.
When I was in college, we went to a Chuck Mangione concert Yes.
Nice.
Afterwards, we were walking down outside the venue, and we saw on this one side of the sidewalk there was a limo waiting, and we're like, oh, that must be the stage door over there. So he's gonna come out here. So we just stood and waited. I mean, like there were 4 of us, and somebody saw us standing out there, and they came outside from backstage and said, hey, come on in. So they invited us backstage to hang out with the band and chat with them. And I found out Chuck Mangione has a daughter named Diana. So that's my experience with bands.
Here's the t-shirt.
Oh, there it is. Look at that.
Wow, that is really cool.
That is cool.
It was an awesome day.
Just don't let that shirt make its way to Goodwill accidentally.
Nope. No, it's in a very secure box.
Someone would pick it up and be like, hold on. Oh, someone must have just faked his signature. It's gotta be a joke.
That and it's in there with my Firehouse and Night Ranger autographed t-shirt.
Nice. I think my the only person I think that would be a notable celebrity I met was actually in the past couple of years. I was in Las Vegas for a sales kickoff, and a bunch of people were gathered around the craps table, and I was watching, and I wasn't doing very well that day, so I decided to be an onlooker, and Flava Flav ends up walking like right by everyone. He's got his whole posse with him, and comes up to the craps table, starts playing at the table where my coworkers at the time were, and played for several hours. And he had a whole like pageantry with him while he was playing. It took him like 45 seconds to roll. It had to be a whole ordeal, and ended up getting a picture with him. But that's probably the most notable one. He had his clock on and everything. I was like, oh my goodness, this is Flava Flav. It was cool.
So I don't have any really famous people like most of you guys. The closest everyone, not you guys, you people. My closest one is my wife's really good friends with, if anyone knows UFC, Uriah Faber, his wife, the Golden Boy in California, because he's from California. So he was one of like the pioneers of MMA, UFC. But the only thing I have experienced is we went to dinner the one night, and that was like the experience of watching people when they see someone famous walk through, and how much they don't care about anyone else that person's with. Because at the time he had his wife was almost at full term for her pregnancy, and there would be other women that walked up. There was a group of like 9 men who were like, why don't you just come have a drink with us, while his wife's right there. And it was just kind of a interesting experience to be. People will just walk up in the middle of the meal and be like, hey, sorry to interrupt, when they're not really sorry. But he was still like really cool and kind about it no matter what. But it was interesting being around someone that was a semi-famous person.
Hi, that happens to me all the time. People just don't get it. We just sometimes want to be left alone when we're with our people.
Exactly. Those waiters and waitresses keep coming up asking all those questions.
Celebrity privacy, please, please.
I somehow forgot to say that I met Paul Rudd, Alfie Allen, and Richard Madden, because so part of being social is like the cell phone girl. In my last job, we would have this like yearly event. We'd pay so much money to have famous people, and I literally have photos of me like reaching over people, like snapping like with their cell phones to get them through the line quicker. So I have some selfies with some cool people.
Does Paul Rudd actually not age in real life?
He actually, okay, he really doesn't age in real life. He's super nice. And me and him were part of like a proposal, because someone walked through the picture line and was like, my girlfriend is a huge Paul Rudd fan. Do you mind if like I take a video? And basically I took the video, and he was so cool about it. He was like, you gotta say yes. It was awesome.
I hugged Mr. T twice in one day.
Oh, hey-o.
Yeah. It was my first week in Los Angeles. Went to the grocery store, and he was in line in front of me in a baby blue, like powder blue tracksuit with a matching Kango. But he's still pretty, he's older, he's a little hunched over, but he's still pretty tall. And I looked up and it just popped out of my head. I was like, "You're Mr. T." And he turned around and he looks at me, he says, "Give me a hug." I'm like, "What?" And then he just hugs me. And then there's a woman in front of him who's got a check. She's pulling out of a checkbook and she's looking for 2 forms of ID. And it's just, now it's awkward because it's been like 3 minutes. And I'm just like, he looks over at me and I was like, "You were great and Rocky." And he's like, "Give me another hug." And he hugs me again, like lifts me up. He's really a strong guy. And then I saw him on the way out of the grocery store. He was getting into this tiny little, whatever the little Mercedes, like 2000, those little 2-door Mercedes sport coupes, the S500 or whatever they were. And like, he could barely fit into this thing. And he's like, "Get over here." And I'm like, "Okay, Mr. T." And I walk over and he's got this stack of about 200 8x10s of himself from like Nick at Night. And he pulls one off and he asks me my name and he just, without asking if I want it, which I totally did, he signs it over to me and I have it somewhere here, but it's an 8x10. And he told me the story of like, he lives in Tarzana, but he likes shopping here because the checkout clerks are so nice to him. And we had well, he mostly talked, but we had a chat for like 10 minutes.
This makes me like Mr. T even more.
He's so
That's pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah, he was just super nice and very strong. He didn't have the chains on though. That was the only disappointing thing.
Parker, you played with any bands or anything, or you drum a lot, right?
Not as much as I used to. I definitely have played with a few bands throughout the years. Nothing really serious though. Either people went their separate ways, or life got in the way. But played a few gigs here and there. I'd like to do some more of it though.
Any YouTube videos we can watch? That was before your time.
Probably not. That's a good question. When I was actually playing more regularly than I am now, and practicing more regularly, which was, I guess, it consumed me a little bit more. YouTube wasn't quite the beast that it is now. I might be able to dig something up though. I can check. Oh, there's a Mr. T picture.
To Cormac.
It's always good to have 200 to 500 pictures of yourself in your car because you never know when you're going to use them.
What traveling mishaps? I don't know why that popped into my head. Who has some good stories about traveling mishaps?
You.
Like what kind of mishaps?
Yeah, my trip to New Orleans for Contribute.
I don't know.
Oh, the one where we're going to do goat yoga, but it flooded?
Well, that was after I got there. It was getting there. It took me several days to get there because of the flooding, and ended up stuck at the airport with what is his name? He lives in Washington and he's the sales guy for Latin America. Anyway.
Jim Torres.
Jim.
Yes,
Jim.
thank you.
Jim.
We ended up driving to New Orleans together from Houston. After flights got canceled, we ended up getting a hotel, and the hotel was way on the north side of town. And the next morning, the flights that they had rebooked us on were canceling again because the crews weren't in place. So then we went to get a rental car, and they were all gone because everybody else had wisened up to it faster than we did. And we ended up Ubering to, I don't know if for anybody that knows Houston, it was over by the Ship Channel. So it was like an hour away. And we got over there, and I had booked it online on Enterprise online. And they said, well, we don't rent to people. This is only like if your car is in the shop.
Mm.
And I cried at that point. And the lady felt sorry for me, and she found us a rental car in, forget Anahuac, like almost to Baytown. I mean, almost to Beaumont. So it was like another 35 minutes away. And yeah, we got the very last rental car. It was a little Ford Fiesta.
Nice. Enterprise has the best, like they had the best messaging and branding ever. When you first said the word, it was like, we'll pick you up, just in my head. Like that's the first thing that comes in.
In 2001, I flew in for a sales training for a week in Des Moines, Iowa, and there had been a snowstorm, so there was already 1 or 2 feet of snow on the ground. And so my week was up, and it was Friday, and I wanted to get home. And I went to the airport, and it had started snowing, and they said, "Oh, there's a massive storm rolling in," and you could look to the east and see it coming. Like it was a black wall, and it was coming. It's like, oh gosh, I hope this doesn't interfere with my flight. And so as my plane came in, we were standing kind of in the window looking out at where it was supposed to taxi up to the jetway. And the front wheel had turned, but the plane wasn't turning. It was still sliding straight. And so it slid into kind of a snow pile near where the gate was. Then the pilot backed it up, and he eventually got to the gate, and he was the first person off the plane. And so the airport manager for United was there talking to him, and he's like, "Okay, well, we got to get this plane loaded. We got to get you out of here." He's like, "No, I'm not flying. I'm not flying in this. I'm not going out." So it was 7:30 or 8 o'clock at night in Iowa, and then it started freezing, raining, and then all the lights in the terminal went off, and then they kicked back on, and they're like, "Okay, folks, well, we're super sorry. Nothing's going out tonight. We don't have a crew. We don't have anything else. So maybe come back at 4 o'clock in the morning." So I immediately ran, because there was a Howard Johnson's about a mile up the road from the airport. So I just started running through the snow towards the Howard Johnson's, got there, got the last room, got back to the airport at 4 o'clock in the morning. And so there were 6 of us standing there near the airplane. And the director for, again, the United was there, and he said, "So we found a pilot and 2 crew members who are willing to try it. So anybody who would like to attempt to take off can get on the plane." And all 6 of us got on, and they de-iced it and de-iced it and de-iced it and gave the runway one plow. And I don't think I've ever white knuckled as hard as I did sitting in my seat in first class, because there was nobody else on the plane. And sure enough, we got off, and we were the last plane to leave for a week and a half out of Des Moines because it was so iced in. And we made it to Chicago, and then from there I made it back home to Seattle. But man, it was we were going down the runway sideways and ice, but I didn't want to stay in Des Moines another week and a half either, because it's Des Moines.
Yeah, I don't ever like flying on a plane where the pilot says, "We're going to try it."
It was iffy.
You're going to MVC it and see if
No.
you take it up or not.
No.
But the only reason I went, and John, I hope you appreciate this, is it was a former Marine aviator that was the pilot. And so I figured he wouldn't have given it a whirl if it wasn't feasible.
Yeah, I've known enough Marine aviators. I don't know if I'd go with that or not. I've had my fair share of white knuckle experiences with Navy aviators, but either way.
Yeah, that was really crazy, Sophia, I would say.
Christina, I was on a call with you, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and there was one blue line on that white wall, on that wall behind you. Now it's all blue. It looks good.
Thank you. Yeah, I made some progress. I was one of the bad people who went to Home Depot a few weeks ago, but thank you. Yeah, it's definitely brighter than the cream.
Oh, I'm right there with you. Home projects have really ticked up for us around here these last couple of weeks.
So if y'all need to buy something at Home Depot, they have lockers. You can buy it online and pick it up at the store, and they'll put it in a locker, and you don't even have to touch the kiosk. You use your phone, and it scans your phone.
Oh, nice.
And
they bring it out to you.
No, well, they may be doing that now, but they weren't bringing it out. But you didn't have to. You scan your phone, and it opens the locker automatically. That's your locker, so you don't have to touch anything except the bag in there that you're taking out.
I feel like we're on the cusp
Very
of
nice.
drone delivery, and man, would it be awesome to have drone delivery right now. Ugh.
So this video is my highlight of the week. I saw this on Twitter. and it was absolutely funny as ever. It was under the Git challenge. Somebody posted this on the Git challenge, and
Thank you, Internet, for providing things like dog riding turtles. Yes.
It's Tanuki. I think it's Tanuki.
That's awesome.
Or at least we can pretend it's Tanuki.
All right, I'm going to be the killjoy and say thank you for joining. Right. Scheduled it for 50 minutes. We'll pass, and all of us have meetings. This was fun.
Yep.
So do it again, you know.
Yeah, thank you for organizing. It's fun. Take a break.
It's a virtual water cooler.
If you're watching this on YouTube, come join us and come to the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, GitLab, where everyone can contribute.
Right.
And wear cats on their head.
Yeah.
My daughter wondered why there was a dog on a turtle.